In this video I am attempting to cross the second oldest river in the world on a paddleboard. Meet the Maas. This river is about 340 million years old and only the Vinca River in Australia is slightly older, but during the summer it's completely dry. Being about 850 kilometers from source to sea, the Maas starts in France and ends in the Netherlands, my home country. I wanted to paddle all of it, but at the source the river looked something like this. So I traveled to a little town called Neuchâtel, about 50 kilometers from the source, and started my journey. Alright, the first few meters got in just here, but yeah, let's get home. It didn't take long before I reached the first obstacle, a waterfall. The first of many more to come actually. I think I'm gonna go like this.
Woohoo! Hell yeah!
After surviving the first obstacle, I immediately ran into the next one. See, the first 250 kilometers of the river look something like this on Google Maps. Here the river is still very small, shallow, and there are fallen trees everywhere. The water is still super clear in this part of the river and there's fish everywhere. I sleep in my hammock and I use my paddleboard as a roof on rainy nights. I got stuck on some plants with my feet. They almost pulled me down. I have to be very careful in the shallow parts, because if my fin breaks, the paddleboard becomes way harder to control, and that would most likely mean the end of this adventure.
Really shallow. Oh.
So hard to navigate through these things because there's just a small bits that are deep enough. I think I'm gonna go like to the left side. Luckily, out here the current is very strong and does most of the work when it comes to getting home. After 6 days I arrived at the second part of the trip. Here the river comes together with its first channel. From here on I would often choose to switch from river to channel. This is not only faster but also gives a nice break from all the obstacles along the way. The channel has its own obstacles. These boat locks made me have to get in and out of the water about 5 times every day. At the first encounter with one of these locks I saw this cute little water snake. There's a lot of these little waterfalls. I come across them like 5 or 6 times a day. So every time I come across this, I need to get all the stuff over there and get back in. By the way, this big bag weighs about 25 kilos. And in the small bin I keep the important stuff like my phone, wallet, charging gear, etc. On my second day on the channel, I came across the first boat. We actually met quite a few times while passing through the locks. The French couple didn't speak English very good, but they told me they went to Nîmes, a city in Belgium. I also began to take more risks at the waterfalls. It's the fin, okay? It's the fin. I need to be careful. Ooh, it's almost autumn and I can feel it. It's cold, it's rainy, there's a lot of wind. The wind is actually been pushing me back so hard today. But I'm not in a hurry, so in a few minutes it's dry and we're gonna continue. On day 8 I passed through the first city of the trip, Verdun. The first bigger city of many more to come. The river became significantly bigger and progression was made very easily. Alright, I'm passing through the first big city of the trip, to Verdun. Still following the channel. All of a sudden the wind became very strong and it was almost impossible to keep up with it.
Oh yeah! This wind has been crazy! All of a sudden! Oh, oh fuck!
Alright, it's day 2 in the big wind. Tomorrow also should be a lot of headwind and then they say the hard wind is gonna take off, and in a few days maybe I even get a wind in the back. For now, let's just get back into the headwind. Finally, after 2 days, the storm was over and it was easy to make progression again. I also came across the second tunnel of the trip. However, when I was inside, I noticed it was way longer than I thought it was, which was quite scary actually, because if a boat was coming through, there was no room for 2 of us. Shit is so long. It's like 500 meters or something. Luckily I made it out alive and I could continue the journey. It's crazy long. Quickly after the tunnel I arrived at the last city before I began at the final part of the river. I quickly paddled through the city because I could not wait to arrive in a new country with new adventures. Good morning, Belgium. Here I started the last part of the trip. I will pass through bigger cities, being passed by way bigger boats, and the dams and structures are huge. The first days in Belgium I paddled through the Ardennes. This was a beautiful place, with lots of rocky mountains and big forests. However, the good vibes didn't last long, because then this happened. While going through there, when I picked up the bag I forgot to close it and this fell out and just completely got in the water. So these boards got wet. This still works. Look. There was water coming in here and also the only cable I have is wet. So I'm gonna try my best to dry it and not gonna try it soon. But if it doesn't work then I have nothing to charge my stuff with, so let's hope it works. So the solar panel didn't work anymore. Got a good excuse to book a hotel. Got the power bank fully charged up, so I'm ready for a few more days. No more talking, more working. A good friend of me was in Belgium for the weekend, so we decided to meet up and have a barbecue together. However, I had to pedal 40 kilometers today, so I had to really push through. In a city named Huy, I had to wait for a boat race before I could continue the journey.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street and the noise went into.
I have to wait for about 15 minutes because there's some crazy race going on there. In about 15 minutes it should be over. And then I'm allowed to go past it.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street.
I also came across some older paddleboarders, but sadly they didn't see me.
Look at that. Crazy.
Not long after passing through Huy, I finally met Rake and we had a great barbecue.
Yo! Yo! Hey, you got a catfish.
By the way, this is Rick. I forgot to mention him, sorry.
Just had a barbecue, went for some fishing. Dude just caught a catfish. A decent one as well.
Crazy. Bye bye.
Beast!
Bye. The next morning, I woke up to one of the best sunrises I had ever seen.
Look at this view.
Today I had to paddle through Luik, one of the bigger cities in Belgium. Passing through it took the whole day. At the other side of the city I started to recognize places from prior trips. I cycled that bridge before. I cycled this bridge before. I went to Croatia. Never thought I would be coming back on a fucking paddleboard though. It's crazy. And after paddling the whole day, I finally made it to my home country. I have made it to the final country of this trip. On the left we have Belgium. On the right, somewhere about here, starts the Netherlands. Over there is Maastricht. I'm gonna find a place to sleep somewhere by those trees because it's getting dark. But hell yeah. Oh, we pushed on so hard today. The hands are fucking done gewoon. But yeah. Final country, man, let's go. Woo. Arriving in the Netherlands felt like coming home again. And it made me realize how far I have already come. Even though I have to still cover about 200 kilometers. Heading through Maastricht, the typical Dutch weather. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this trip, a wind in the back. I don't have to do anything. It's going crazy. I'm faster than normal paddling with headwind. This is so nice. I'm gonna be having this today and tomorrow, and then it's gonna be shit, so I have to enjoy it for now. But just passed through Maastricht. After Maastricht, I had to walk from the Juliana Canal to the river again because of some construction work on the dam. Now we got wind in the back and a big current. Let's go. current reminds me of the first days of the trip. It's actually kind of the same. It's so nice. Just cruising on the current. The power bank I charged at the hotel in Belgium was almost empty by now, and I didn't have enough power to charge my GoPro. Luckily, I could charge my phone back up to about 80% and I was able to continue filming again. Sadly, the last days the wind pulled up again. The water is really taking its toll on my body. Tomorrow and every day after it, the weather will be horrible. With the wind turning against me, I was now fighting against time. See, in 3 days I had to visit someone, so I had a deadline. And if I wanted to make it in time, I had to pedal 35 kilometers each day to make it to the finish. However, already at the first evening of the last 3 days, a storm pulled up. I came on shore just here. I better be making the shelter really quick because out of nowhere this massive thunderstorm. Oh, I can already see the rainfall. It's coming right here. It was just clear skies and all of a sudden there's thunder and stuff coming out of it. But this, yeah, I'm gonna stop filming and get my shit together. 5 minutes later and we have ourselves a home. I'm gonna be sleeping on this thing. Oh, I'm so happy with this ground thingy. Gonna get 1 or 2 more rocks for the bottom. When I woke up the next morning, I realized that today was probably my last day on the water.
Oh, yo. Today should be the second last day of paddling, but it's really, but the wind is really fucking strong. So maybe this is gonna be the last day. If I don't make enough progression this day, and I cannot make it the last day, then there's no point in going. So I'm just gonna go on the water and see for a few hours how it goes, because the wind is so strong. Okay, here's the answer to if it's possible or not. It's not. The wind is just too strong and my body is not able to keep up, which means that I will not make the finish anyway. So I had today and tomorrow. It's still about 70 kilometers. Normally I do 5 or a little bit more kilometers in 1 hour. Now I did 2 kilometers in 2 hours. So the stuff is here drying. Then I'm gonna take the train and go home. I'm still happy with how far I came, so I'm just gonna pack the stuff, get in the train and go to my bed, because I wanna go and sleep in my own bed.
I will come back next summer and finish the last part. I promise. Samsung, stop recording.